taught us this morning is that parents and teachers must make to be able to understand how children learn and get them to give their very best based off of their own strength and their own capacity. So we've before we went on that break, we're able to identify that one common mistakes that parents make is comparison,
Comparison.
comparing children against themselves,
Themselves.
comparing children against other people in their class. So now let's talk about schools where the classrooms are large and exam focused. How can teachers still respond to learning differences, especially when there are bottlenecks like this? How do they try to cover
For
everybody?
everybody. Okay. Like I said, you can adjust a bit. So because there are, for instance, the public schools where they have over 100 in class.
Yeah.
What the teachers can do is to be flexible in the teaching. So when you've done the usual lecture method or the teaching method where you come, you write on the board, you explain, the next thing you can do is to be visual. And how do you be visual? For instance, you can, if there is no room for or provision for a projector, you can get practical items that you can use to explain what you are explaining. So, what can I use as an example? So, if it's an example, so if you are telling a child that this is a book, you should have a book with you.
Yeah.
To show that this is literally a book. If you want to show a child that this is a stone, you should actually, this is a mouse, you can bring it. This is a keyboard, you can bring it. So that they are not just imagining that, okay, keyboard, how does a keyboard look like? They want to see it. Another thing you can do is you can write it on the board. Keyboard, literally. And the ones who are reading and writing learners can grab, okay, keyboard. Then the ones who are kinesthetic learners, they need to literally see it and feel it. Okay, this is a keyboard. Oh, wow, how does it work? So if there are rooms where they have a computer room or somewhere where they can just go, where they can just feel the system or feel a keyboard, they go there. Then practicals, or if what you're teaching is a subject that requires practicals, make room for practicals.
So you do it.
Yes. So it's being flexible, not just saying that you're coming to teach like this and everybody must grab it. No. They're humans. So I want to give an example. You know how it's like for a fish to naturally swim in a river, and that's their habitat. That's where they excel. That's their area of strength. Same thing for a monkey. It can jump, climb a tree, and all of that. But when you put a monkey in a river and tell the monkey swim, what happens? It will drown. And the monkey will feel like they're not good enough. Same thing for a fish. You put a fish, so you climb the tree. The fish should just be there. And the next thing, the fish might even die. And what happens is that fish now begins to tell itself, I'm not good. I can't climb a tree. How can't I? That's not your area of strength. That's not the area of strength of the monkey, being in a river. So that's the same way. You cannot say the child must learn like this. It's not a must. It's an understanding of how this child is and knowing the right method for the child.
Yeah. All right, we must make adjustments for teachers that have a large and exam-focused class. Try to
be flexible.
To be flexible, and then it's one thing to know something; it's another thing to try. So I think that the children that we see do not grasp with for example, the hearing method. We should be able to call to ask them, look out for signs and patterns to be able to identify what kind of learner that child is, how best they can function. Look at the subjects they do better in. Some students will do better in subjects like maybe physics, chemistry, because there's practical. But when you're talking accounts, when you're talking economics, when you're talking history, they don't understand what you're saying. But maybe when they see a picture, they remember, oh, Albert Macaulay is the one that has the beard that was coiled like this to the corner. And because of that picture, they remember who that person is and can trace the story. So we as teachers, even as parents, we should be able to be patient enough to understand what the strengths of children are. We're going to open the phone line, so we'll talk to parents, to teachers as well. If you have contributions, it's obvious we are not going to trash all the depths that this conversation can go in the short time that we have. But I'll open the phone line so you could call to drop your contributions, ask questions. If you've been in this position and you were able to identify what method it was that worked for your child, for that learner in your class, let's talk about it. And as we wait for the calls to come in, the number is 0906 641 3928, 0906 641 3928. I'd like Sarah to tell us how important early identification of a child's learning strengths is. How important early identification is, and what are the challenges of not identifying early.
Okay, so it is important to identify a child's learning strength early, because that will take away the whole bad grades. It will take it out early enough. So that would make the child avoid misunderstanding what teacher is trying to say, or even have an issue with themselves. It's very difficult. Okay, let me talk about myself.
Sorry, let me just pause you there so we'll take this call. Right. Hello, good morning.
Yes, hello, good morning.
Good morning. Caller, your name and location, please.
Yes, this is Shabawo.
All right, Teacher Bawa, thank you for calling. Go ahead with your contribution or question.
Yes, I want to comment the resource president that she has really touched a lot of issues. Talking of grades, using grades to assess students, it's interesting to note that you can even have a student who's still and still have the best position. Okay, let's say we have the total score to be 1,500 with the total score there, and the highest in the class happens to be with the highest score 450. That's a feat. That's the first position. And you can still take, and you can still come out 50 out of 50 students in the class and still pass. So if we start assessing students using the grade, it sounds funny. You want to look at the job somewhere. Okay, you took a fourth. You made that to the first position. So when you wait at the come on, it sounds somehow and sounds funny. Then again, if we want to use, you want to assess the different learning methods, because the way you have different teaching methods, you also have different learning methods. And it is the teacher that will identify that learning method of that student or of that learner. The situation when you now see a school, some private school, they give you their own teaching method. This is what you must teach the children. This is the standard they'll be using. And that standard may not be the teacher's own method of teaching. And you understand that? Now, the teacher now has found his or herself in the area where he was giving a particular method of teaching. And the learners have different methods of learning, just as the resource president said. You have the one that has to do with visual, you have one that has to do with auditory. Certainly, you have to identify them. But the school will come and say, no, this is the way you must do it. It's a double promotion. But with another method, it's double promotion. Want to give the child double promotion. This child is too intelligent to be in this class. Is that class meant for strong people? That class the child was only strong people should be in that class. Intelligent to be in this class. They want the child to go double promotion and to go to the next class. If the child, any class a child misses, the child has missed something that you're going to learn from that class. Which will affect the child tomorrow. Most parents don't know this. Most school educators, most school principals don't know these things. They're making the whole thing to look as if the school is just a place where you just go there and get a qualification. I don't know how you want to get the grades, go and get the grades and then come back home. What about the area of of the kids leaving the children in the house of the teachers in the school.
Yeah.
You know, there are some teachers that do homework for the child there in the school. The parents pay them to do the homework.
Yeah, yes, of course, true.
If the parents pay them, because when you give the child homework, let me do the homework for the child.
They do.
What are you teaching that child? Our parents are paying so at the end of the day, you find that child has been doing the homework. I think I've did the homework in the school. Besides, we always come out from school. We don't want to collect more money from the parents.
Yeah,
True.
and then they know more. They exercise their brains better.
Because that's not your office. So you want to do everything to retain the office.
Teacher,
then again, we want these children to start learning. Somebody called me the other day. I want you to come and teach my children. How old are you? What do I say? KG, one is a KG2, the other one is a primary one. I say these children are still learning. They don't need this extra group, this teaching for that. They don't need it. It's when they get to that place, when you find that the learning process is good, then you'll not be thinking of getting
extra.
I say, I don't know if you want to get that, but as for me, I say let them be learning gradually. Because learning is a gradual process. And most parents want to push these children. They want them to be busy. If it's possible for the children to even be in school from morning to 8 o'clock, they want them to be happy.
And that's part of what affects them
most times. Because they don't want to see when the children will just be out. Just go from one lesson to the other one. That is not the way to bring it. The critical learning. How many teachers know of critical learning? Because like teachers have to go through critical process in learning. How many of them know it?
Teacher Bao, thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Teacher Bao. Teacher Bao called and gave lots of contributions and is agreed to loads of the things that Tara said. I was very shocked to hear that parents would pay teachers to do assignments for children, but I don't think that's the way to go. When we say, oh, I accept them, we do not say that. You should make them not go. We did not say you should encourage them not to be able to get this, but then it's because we are focused on grades is why a parent will do that rather than want to identify why my child do not understand or why my child is not delivering, why my child is not doing well. Because at the end of the day, they just want it to look good on paper. For people that they've taken their children to schools where they are now friends and colleagues with the parents and they're vibing out of the four walls of school. They want their own children to come home with the report card that looks really nice.
And most of the times is that if grades is the yardstick of measuring intelligence, most of these children get good grades. You don't even know if the good grades, like he just raised, if it was through the teacher's efforts of helping, just help me do assignment, just help me pass my child, just help me, or it was through malpractice. Because you come, or the child is home and you know that this child, one way or the other, struggles in this subject, and suddenly you know that you didn't put efforts, you didn't help the child, you didn't get to know how this child learns better. You were not asking, and then suddenly there's a good grade. You're not surprised. You're not asking what happened.
What did you do differently?
You're excited. Oh, you passed maths this time around. That's good. You don't even know if it was true malpractice. All they just want is come home with good grades.
All right, the phone lines is still open. The number is 090-664-13928, and we'll be wrapping off in a short while. But then let's talk about the impact that repeated academic failure and negative labeling have on children's confidence and motivation.
Okay. Yeah, that reduces their self-esteem. It does. It reduces their self-esteem. Growing up, I was someone who struggled academically, and that affected my ability to even contribute in class, even when I knew what to say. Because not just that I knew that I had struggles in academic, my classmate knew, the teachers knew. So when you want to even, then there's that, let's just hear what she wants to say. And even when you get it and they're like, okay. Then the one who is brilliant or bright, in quotes, now decides to, even if what they're even saying is not even as correct, there's that accolade to it.
Because they said it.
Because they said it. So that affects their self-esteem.
It's crazy.
It affects their self-esteem. It affects how they interact with people. Even when they're out of the secondary school, when they get into university, they still term themselves as dull. That's not good enough. That's not smart. And they not even now conclude with them, you know what? Book is not for me. And they're like, anything book, I beg. And they now decide that they will always pay their way through to pass exams.
Yeah.
That's why we have a lot of malpractice.
Through that.
In university. They're paying lecturers. They're paying teachers. They're saying, please just help me. I know I did not do well. Do you know the worst part? They don't do well, not because they can't do well. They don't even bother putting efforts. They don't even bother putting efforts into doing well because they already have that stigma that they are not good. They already have the stigma that they are not good. So they don't bother anymore. They've just, they don't try anymore. They don't try anymore. Because there's already a conclusion. And you know, when something affects your self-esteem and identity, you begin to carry it along.
That's true.
And say, well, I'm not good. And when you continually say something about yourself, it sticks to you.
All right, that's one of the roles, the impact of repeated failure and negative labeling. We'll take the last call and we'll wrap up on the program this morning. Hello, good morning.
Yes, hello, good morning. This is Shabawa. I call back. I just want to chip in something.
Okay.
Yes, and I just want every parent to know, that no child is dull. Every child is intelligent, in his or her own way.
Yes.
Yes, that is that. When you start before the child, don't see the child, don't see that there. Try to find out the area. There's a particular, this area, the child that I'm here now. I'm not too good at computer. Not that I don't know the key that is the keyboard, but I'm not too good at it. And you're right now. Yes, go. Yes.
Hello?
Yes, I should know that.
Okay.
Yes, I do here. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Teacher Bao. For want of time, here's as far as we can go, but I'm begging you now, so please come. So we'll have a resource person here next week, and then we'll wrap up. Finally, would end with practical steps. Let's talk about steps you've taken. You've seen work because you work with parents, you work with teachers. Steps you've taken, you see work. Let's come next week to talk about the, what do I call it now? The patterns that you've used to identify and have gotten results. We'll talk about the role education policy makers and schools play in creating systems that will lead to a difference, because Teacher Bao even already talked about how we go to certain schools and they're telling teachers, no, do it like so.
Like this. You must.
So you must do it like so. So we're going to talk about the effect of these kind of policies, that the lack of these policies that are meant to cover, and we know we do not have it yet, what it's supposed to be, what it's meant to be, the ways we know these things will work to get it better. So next week, let's talk results. Right. Let's talk practical results. And I want to say thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sarah, thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us on Academic Platform this morning. It's Academic Platform on Radio Delta 88.6 Melody FM. And here's as far as we can go. We'll come again at 8 Tuesday next week to still talk on beyond grades, understand